Let's move on now into main topic number 3. And our third main topic today gets submitted to us by Sammy Wise GamGee. I see what you did there. And Sammy Wise GamGee writes, "Hey, John, wondering if you had a chance to see Mulan yet and what your thoughts were. I personally thought it was okay. It's not an easy story to translate into film, but after watching Aladdin, which I loved, I also thought it could have been better. What did you think?" All right, thanks a lot for sending that in, man. And yes, as a matter of fact, I did watch Mulan. Now, on yesterday's open mic, people were asking me if I see Mulan, and I said, you know what? I'm not even 100% sure I'm going to watch Mulan. Like, I'm going to watch Mulan at some point, but I don't know that I'm going to drop $30 to watch it on Disney+. Because I have this thing against dropping $30 for a movie I'm not getting the actual theatrical experience for. That's what I'm paying for, the theatrical experience. Not to sit at home, I can put anything on my TV that I want experience like any other day of the week. I want the theatrical experience. And I said, if I don't get it in the next 72 hours, I probably won't. But last night what happened was my buddy Ryan was over. So me, Ann, and Ryan were sitting around. It's like, what do you want to do? And we had eaten and we're like, all right, let's watch Mulan. So whatever, we put on Mulan. What did I think of Mulan? Well, I thought a couple of things, Mulan. First of all, let me say this. I think Mulan is a pretty nicely done film. I do. I think it is a pretty nicely done film. There was almost every aspect of it that I watched that I felt, yeah, they did a nice job with that, and they did a nice job with that element, and they did a nice job with that element. And overall, at the end of the day, if I have to get on Rotten Tomatoes and submit my review, and do I say it's a yeah or no, I'm probably going yeah. It's a nicely made little film. It is. I thought the performance of all the performances were really quite good. Felt all very fairy tale like. It's great seeing Donnie Yen and Jet Li. I didn't even recognize Jet Li at first. It wasn't until the Emperor's second scene that I went, wait a minute, that's Jet Li. And like Ann and Ryan were like, yeah, you didn't realize that? I didn't even realize that. But I thought the performances of everybody, including the leads and all that, I thought it was quite nice. I like the camaraderie of the little band of soldiers that Mulan was a part of. I thought that came across nicely. I thought the villain was nice. Yeah, it was nice. It did a nice job. Two big caveats I want to give here, though. One is this. This is a movie, as I'm watching it and I'm seeing these gorgeous like Chinese landscapes and everything, I'm watching this movie and it only took me about 5 minutes to go, this movie should have been on the big screen. I mean, I get it. Pandemic, all that. I get it. I do. But I could not escape watching it even just for 5 minutes before I was going, this would have been a better experience on a big screen, especially with the cinematography and the color and all that kind of stuff. It just would have been a better experience. That being said, while I felt everything was pretty nice, and I don't want to give away any spoilers per se, there also was hardly any element of this film that I didn't also watch and go, it's nice, but I feel like it's a missed opportunity. You know, the village that she lives in is nice, but I also felt like it was a missed opportunity. I felt like they could have breathed a lot more life into that thing. When the soldiers are on the battlefield, it's nice, but I also felt like it could have been like 3 times more. You know, the interpersonal relationships, they're nice. Although I will say this, one really exceptional thing about this movie was the relationship to me between Mulan and her father. Got me every time. That I will give all the check marks to. That part of the film crushed it, and I really felt it. And that part was done excellently. But other than that, all the other interpersonal relationships and things going on, I felt like, yeah, you're doing what you need to do, but you could have elevated it a lot more. And that's my overall feeling. A nice little film, could have been elevated a lot more. Did not come anywhere close to my expectations. I'll just say that. Mulan as a movie doesn't come anywhere close to my expectations. Now, I'm about to give a minor spoiler away, okay? I'm about to give a minor spoiler away. If you don't want to know anything about this Mulan film, mute right now. And I'll give you the big wave like this to let you know it's good to unmute it, okay? So I'm about to give you a minor spoiler, all right? Giving you the warning. Here we go. This character, the witch, she's not on screen for more than 30 seconds before you know exactly where her story arc was going. And like, it took what could have been a great turning point character moment for this character later in the film, and they just gave it all away with the first 2 sentences out of her mouth in the movie. Like, the moment she speaks and in her first conversation she has in this movie, you're like, oh, well, we obviously know what's going to happen to this character. And so it kind of neutered the character and any effectiveness this character was going to have throughout the rest of the movie. There was no effect because now I already knew exactly what was going to happen. I knew exactly what was going to happen. And that was unfortunate. I'll comment on this too. A lot of people talking about the music. I didn't miss the music in this at all. I didn't. Because I think it is a heresy of film watching to just go into a film and not judge it on its own merits. I don't give a shit about the original animated film. Okay? I don't give a crap about it when I'm watching a different interpretation of it. When I'm watching a new interpretation, I don't give a crap about what the old one is. I'm judging this on its own merits. And I didn't feel the missing of the music at all. This was a different kind of film. I didn't miss the music. Perfectly fine. That was great. So that's one aspect of it. So again, overall, nice little film. Would I spend $30 on it again? No. Would I recommend people not wait till December if they're Disney Plus subscribers when they can just watch it for free and go out and shell out the money to watch it right now for $30 without even getting a theatrical experience? Even though I think it's a nice film and I liked it overall, I wouldn't recommend dropping $30 just for a home viewing experience. I just can't do it. Anyway, Rob, that's my kind of take on Mulan. Is there anything? Where were you? Because I know you haven't had a chance to watch it yet. Is what I'm saying lining up with your expectations? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much. You know, I wonder that their approach that they took, again, going for that realism. I kind of wonder, what if they had brought in the more fantastical elements of the animated, like the dragon and the grasshopper, and added those Jungle Book style? You know, I mean, could they have gotten away with adding the more fantastical elements from the animated film back into this story, or not? I mean, it's interesting to me. Yeah, I mean, they've gone for this realism, and as I said to you, I was watching Chris Stuckman's review, and he was pointing out, like, I'm a huge fan of movies like Shadow and Hero and the Chinese-made movies that deal with the same period, and they've done such a great job. I mean, the battle sequences and the fighting and all that in those movies is spectacular. Even Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, that was a huge hit here domestically, did a great job. Got
nominated for Best Picture at the Academy Awards, by the way.
Yeah, fantastic films. And I wonder that if the one thing that Mulan had going for it that was different could have been those extra additional fantasy elements, how that would have worked, I don't know.
Well, but I'll say this, though. There are some fantastical elements in the film. For instance, that character I just had on screen, she's a witch.
Right.
And we see, and there are other, I don't want to give too much away, there are other fantastical elements that come into play. As far as things that like they did in the animated film, do we need a slick, talking, sarcastic, animated dragon tech? No. I honestly, I hear some people saying they should have had Mushu, and I'm like, no, you're just yearning for what the movie you saw as a kid. I personally, I think that would have completely destroyed the atmosphere they were going for in the film. And one of the things that works in the film to me is the atmospheres of the film. The atmosphere of the movie kind of worked for me. And I felt if you had a sarcastic, funny, quick-quipped little dragon in there voiced by Eddie Murphy, I think it would have completely annihilated what they were going for. But there are some fantastical elements. Could they have done more? You know what? Yes. I think there was room for more, because the moment they start talking about chi, and chi becomes kind of a key thing in the movie. As soon as they start talking about chi, that opens the door where you could, and that becomes, Rob, I would suggest, one of those elements I was talking about where it's like, oh yeah, they did this nicely, but you could have done a lot more with it. You know what I mean? And I think for exactly what you're saying is there was, not the way they did it in the animated film, but I think there was a lot of opportunity to explore, since you cracked the door open to it anyway already.
Right.
There was opportunity to do even more. And that would have been interesting. It would have been interesting. Anyway, question is, guys, have any of you had a chance to watch Mulan? Would you recommend other people rush out and pay $30 to watch it at home? I don't think I can, but I still liked it. I did, but missed opportunity. I feel like it's a missed opportunity. Did not live up to the promise of what I felt the trailers gave me. Anyway, but still not bad. Still not bad. Anyway, what did you guys think? Jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. All right, guys.